The Booch is on the run.
What's up?
How are you, brother?
Doing all right.
You just get done with work?
Yeah, I'm basically leaving one job and heading to the next.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so I guess we could talk about, who won the last prediction championship if you have time. I mean, I don't know what you're doing right now besides driving, but if you had a minute, we could talk about perhaps we have a new champion.
We don't.
Wait a minute. You must have changed some of the predictions. I clearly should have won that.
I tallied it up. We tied.
Oh, I want an audit. I want an audit, and I want it now.
Okay. We tied. I'll check. We tied.
Are you telling me the main event is a swing state now all of a sudden? It's been red for decades, Booch.
Basically, here's what happened. We agreed on every match except for two of them. You won one, and I won the other. So we tied. That's what happened. I'll check it. I'll show you right here. Let me pull this up. Hold on. Where the hell is it? Backlash. Yeah. Damian Priest, we both picked him. You picked Rhea Ripley. She won. We both picked Belair. We both picked Roman Reigns. I picked Bobby Lashley. He won. And we both agreed on Ray and Dominic. So unless there's a match I'm missing, we tied.
Booch, I don't want to focus on the past. I don't even know why you brought it up. But here we are. I think we have a huge pay-per-view right ahead of us. Hell in a Cell this Sunday night, the 20th. It's coming up, Booch, the return of in-person attendance later this summer. Very exciting. Next month, actually.
Yeah, Money in the Bank supposed to have fans in it.
It's going to be cool, man. And then, of course, we have SummerSlam right around the corner from that. Lots to get to, Booch. I want to be excited. I'm just going to talk about the elephant in the room because people are wondering, what is the Wens? What is the Booch? What do they think about this ongoing saga between McIntyre and Lashley? And I, for one, am glad that it's finally coming to a head. But it's kind of an interesting scenario because you could look at the head side of the coin and think, well, this is McIntyre's last opportunity with Lashley as champion at the title. So obviously they're going to give it to him, right? But are they really going to change titles before SummerSlam 1? And 2, are they going to change titles with nobody in attendance? I don't think so, Booch. I don't think so at all.
I don't either. And I think I, for one, hate the fact that this match is happening again. I like McIntyre, but he had his run. And Bobby Lashley's been way more deserving. He's way more dominant. He's too damn good. And they really need to build somebody up before they take that belt off of him. So McIntyre, he should not be he should not be walking out of the cell with the title. This should be Lashley wins, McIntyre goes to another rivalry somewhere else, and they build somebody else to take on Lashley and potentially win. Because I know the rumor right now is we're supposed to have Lashley versus Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's what I'm hearing. Because the fans are going to be back. SummerSlam's their second biggest show of the year. They're looking to draw fans now that fans are coming back. So I think Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley are supposed to be the match at SummerSlam. Now, the rumor I'm hearing is that potentially Lashley's supposed to go over, but I don't know. They might swerve it. But I think Lashley is, I'll just say it right now, Lashley retains the title at Hell in a Cell. And the match at WrestleMania Backlash was meh, but I'm glad he won.
Yeah, and like you said, Booch, there's no way that they change title hands right now with the current circumstances. And I agree with you. At first, I was kind of bothered by the fact that they totally disbanded the Hurt Business. It was a gimmick in my mind that they really could have explored further, and I'm not sure why they jumped ship. And just from a fan perspective, it started to gain traction. It started to gain following. But all of a sudden, it's like, poof, it's gone. And why? Why fix something if it ain't broken?
Exactly. But that's what happens a lot in WWE and with publicly traded companies in general. They like to fix stuff until it breaks.
And then it continues to break. It's like it's made in America or something. But that's
Exactly.
not the only match that we have coming on at Hell in a Cell. Of course, both of us there picking the incumbent champion to defeat Drew McIntyre. But we also have, let's switch a little bit and go to the fairer sex, and that's the blue brand representation as Bianca Belair, the EST of WWE champion, taking on Bailey. Booch, I for one think that Bianca retains here. Is there any reason, that you have any doubt whatsoever that Bianca isn't walking out of Hell in a Cell as SmackDown Women's Champion?
There is no doubt in my mind that she keeps this belt. I love Bailey, but I feel like Bianca definitely is going to retain. It's her. This is her run. Bailey, like I said before, Bailey had a great run as champion, but it's time. But if Bianca's gonna lose it, somebody else needs to take the helm because we had a long reign with Bailey. Nobody wants to see it. At least not now. I mean, after a little bit of time and a few other champions that come around, eventually you can circle back to Bailey, and I would have no objections with that. But she just had a long title reign, and this is Bianca's time to shine. She just won the belt at WrestleMania, um, from Sasha Banks. So I was fine with them having this match at Backlash. But the only way I would be excited for this match is if it was actually happening inside the Hell in a Cell. And the fact that it isn't is what bothers me. It's just another match. But no, Bianca is retaining her title. And like I said, it'd be better if it was inside the cell.
Yeah, it would be. And why not? You're already there. Why do you think they're kind of steering away from that?
I think it's because they don't want to overdo it. Like the first time they ever did a Hell in a Cell pay per view, every match was inside Hell in a Cell. Every match. I preferred that. But I think then they started eventually pulling it back and only saving it for like the major storyline or the championship. But and also I know that when Charlotte and Sasha did the Hell in a Cell match, it didn't go well. So I think they might be trying to keep the women away from the cell. But I think if you're going to have two women fighting over multiple pay per views, you got to put the cell in to make the match interesting or switch them out. Because at a certain point, we just get annoyed with seeing the same people wrestle over and over and over and over again. And that's what we're seeing here.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I was fine with Bianca and Bailey because this is about from Sasha the pay per view. But because it's in the cell, it's just another match. So it's not as exciting. And if Bailey wins, it's going to be bullshit because you're cutting down Bianca's run short when she's on top of her game and everybody loves it.
The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of One's World as parent company or its subsidiaries. Continue, Booch.
What? That was it. That's all I had to say. What are you talking about?
No. That's my censorship alarm. It's an automatic default setting on Zoom that when somebody cusses, it comes in and lets people know that I'm in no way affiliated with the comments made by vulgarity on this show. Just a little CYA in the business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Makes sense.
100% in agreement there as well. Bianca Belair is not losing that match. So let's take a look at the red side of the ladies card, right? Because we got a big match. And can I just give WWE a little bit of credit? Thank you for not putting Asuka in this match. I really appreciate it that they've moved on from this whole Asuka Charlotte Flair debate debacle. And now we're looking at the champ, Rhea Ripley, taking on Charlotte Flair. And Booch, I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, if only Charlotte could get an opportunity to win that championship, she'd be one closer to her dad and one still closer to greatest of all time, which some would say she is already.
Oh yeah, she gets overlooked so many times, and
Agreed.
She's had to scratch and claw for so many title opportunities, and just who am I kidding? The Queen of Privilege is in this match, and I can't take it. I'm losing my mind over here. If I needed a bathroom break, this was it. Like I have. This is where you lose me again because I'm like, one of two things are gonna happen. Either Rhea Ripley's gonna get a solid victory over Charlotte Flair and solidify herself as a champion, or Charlotte is gonna get the belt again. She's gonna have a run again, and nobody's going to like it again. They will not this is like it's like an inoperable tumor at the base of the spine of the women's division. I don't get it. Like, make it stop for the love of God. Let What is it going to take to get Charlotte Flair away from this title? Does she have to go on the injured list again? I mean, I don't wish that on any wrestler, but what the hell? Like, no one wants this. No one wants this. This is like a baby sitting in a high chair and the mom trying to feed a carrot. Like, the kid's just like, don't want this. Like, that's pretty much us at this point. We're sitting in a high chair with the Gerber's carrot coming at us, and we're like, no, I don't care if it's a choo-choo train or whatever. I don't want this. Like, nobody wants this. So I want Rhea Ripley's going to retain, and I hope this puts an end to this crap.
I thought they could have done one better and added Nikki Cross to this match. She's gained so much momentum over the last few weeks, all benefiting this ridiculous storyline between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair, right? But she is adding value to it. She's adding value. She's adding vigor to it, and that's important. And I think Nikki Cross in the future hopefully starts to get some more opportunities. And a triple threat match here would have been great because it also takes the pressure off of both Ripley and Flair. And I 100% think that I know you believe that Rhea Ripley is going to win this match, right? Or are you leaning towards Flair?
I'm leaning towards Rhea.
Okay.
I think that Rhea Ripley's going to win. I feel like they're not. They can't end this. They'd be crazy to do so. Then again,
they'd be insane to strip Ripley of the title right now. Even though I think she got it too early. That's, look back on the last male soap opera moment if you're wondering how that conversation went. But
people say I go on rant.
But it was a good rant, and you agreed that I was right? Wait, I can't hear. You're fading. Oh, wait, there you go. Just to see how this goes, folks. When I start becoming more accurate, Booch magically loses his ability to connect to audio on this call. And now we're looking at the clouds. Those are pretty clouds. So yeah, I mean, it's really simple. Rhea Ripley's not losing this title before the tour starts. If she does lose it, it'll be at the earliest SummerSlam. And I would even say she's probably going to hold on until April, the next Mania, if they're smart. They really need, this is what they need. If you want to live in a Charlotte Flair light world, because right now it's Charlotte Flair heavy. She's mixed into everything in WWE. And if you want her to stop the chase, they need to keep this title on Ripley for a while. Work Charlotte, continue to put her in the ring with Ripley. Because look, let's be honest. Charlotte Flair is a better wrestler than Rhea Ripley. Can we agree on that? You don't like her, but can you agree that she's a better wrestler?
No, I honestly don't.
I
truly think Rhea Ripley is more talented. I'm not saying Charlotte's not good in the ring, but I'm a bigger fan of Rhea Ripley. I've seen her work. I think
you're not. You're a bigger hater of Charlotte Flair than you are a fan of Rhea Ripley.
I see. I would say that about most other women on the roster, but not Rhea Ripley. I'm actually a fan of Rhea Ripley.
You honestly think that Rhea Ripley is better in the ring than Charlotte Flair at this 100%. Point? At this 100%. Point in their careers. This is insanity. This is you have your hatred blinders towards Charlotte Flair, and it's so obvious. The fact that you can't see her greatness and recognize it. If her last name wasn't Flair, your opinion would be different, right?
No, probably not. Because, like I said, she's been handed every opportunity on a silver platter. She hasn't worked for anything.
We have to move on. Time constraints.
I'm saying. I mean,
and there's somewhat of an FCC mandate on this show, because if we continue on this subject, I don't know. I might say a gosh darn curse word on this show, and I don't want to do that. There are sensitive ears listening, Booch. Let's switch it. Universal Championship going on. Roman Reigns taking on Rey Mysterio. This is in a Hell in a Cell. So I'm excited about this. Obviously, the incorporation of Family Line always to me has been a cheap, cheesy angle, but it's worked. It's effective, and I'm kind of excited about seeing this match.
I am too. I wasn't expecting it. For some reason, I thought it would be Roman and Jimmy in the cell against each other, like kind of like with him and Jay last year, where the whole thing was acknowledge me. So I thought that was going to be that too, where like Roman beats Jimmy Uso, he finally joins and acknowledges him as the tribal chief and all that. But instead, they're going this route with Rey Mysterio, which is odd, but it still gives Roman a good match because Rey Mysterio is a legend. Mm-hmm. He has worked matches with big guys before. He has won matches against big guys before. So it's credible. It makes sense. Rey Mysterio has built a legacy, you know, from WCW to WWE and everything else, from Kevin Nash to the Big Show, just everybody. So it works, but I still maintain that Roman is going to retain the belt because I don't see him losing the belt anytime soon. Because again, another big rumor going into SummerSlam is it's supposed to be either Roman Reigns versus The Rock or Roman Reigns versus John Cena at SummerSlam. I think it's going to be Roman and Cena, and they're saving The Rock for Mania.
Either one is a wrestling wet dream. Either one of those scenarios, to me, yes, 100% yes. So I think for sure there's no way they abandon any plans they have for Roman, especially with that kind of with those kinds of matches ahead. Either or, whether it's Cena or Deej, it doesn't matter. You know, it's going to be great because they'll both work their butts off in the ring. I would love for it to be Cena. It's funny too because Booch, you know, I've never really, back when we were doing this in the old world, I was never a Cena fan. Like I always thought he was cheesy. He's for the kids, and it's just so gimmicky and ridiculous. I can't get on board. And now I miss him. Like I miss that. Like I miss that positivity and that never give up spirit and like all the stuff that he stood for. It's just, I miss it. And I know a lot of people that maybe didn't like John Cena when he was wrestling week in and week out at every event. He's kind of like what The Miz does now for WWE, but even on a grander scale than what one of the greatest of all time, Mike The Miz, has done. Your audio will be muted if you say anything blasphemous against Mike The Miz, please. Thank my producer. Note that.
I'm just moving on. I'm not going to say nothing.
All right. But I think we both agree, do we, that Roman Reigns is walking out of Hell in a Cell as Universal Champion here?
Yes, Roman is walking out with the title.
All right. This next one, to me, is just super weird. I want to get your take on this newest angle with Alexa Bliss. But she's taking on my girl, Shayna Baszler. And I would love to see Shayna Baszler tear her limb from limb. And I kind of think that's what's going to happen here. I hope that's what happens.
There's definitely a strong possibility that's going to happen. I know that the Alexa Bliss has been playing mind games with Shayna, and I kind of like the way Shayna's been selling it. Like, it's one of those things where when you're in, it's like, and I know some people think the gimmick is goofy or cheesy, and to put somebody tough like Shayna in there makes her look bad. To me, it only makes her look bad if she doesn't commit fully to what's going on. Mm-hmm. Like, if you commit fully to the scene or what's going on, you can make it work. It's when you half-ass it because you're not in it that it looks bad. So I think Shayna is doing a really good job. And I think when she gets in the ring, she'll be allowed to be herself. Obviously, Alexa Bliss is going to have mind games to play. But I think this will prove if Shayna can entertain as well as wrestle or fight. So this will show, because it's sports entertainment. It's WWE. Let's see how we know how badass Shayna is. We know how good of a fighter and a wrestler she is. Let's see how entertaining she truly is. I think that's gonna be the test for her.
Yeah, I kind of like to see, you know, she's been kind of getting spooked out a little bit with the whole Alexa Bliss's doll and all that. What's the doll's name again, Booch? Do you remember?
Lily.
That's right, Lily. So did I miss any matches? I think that's all of them, right?
That's all they've listed right now.
All right, Booch. So we got our predictions. Lily will always be creepy. Lashley's probably going to win. Roman Reigns is going to walk towards SummerSlam and face one of two of the greatest icons ever. We have a whole lot to get to ahead in the coming weeks and such, but we never ever like to leave an episode of the Male Soap Opera Moment without saying a couple key things, one of which is have a nice day.
The other is bang bang.